Hello and welcome to Your Average Critics, a weekly podcast talking about film, TV and pop culture. No Glenn today, so I'm going to take over for the hosting for this episode. I'm here with Joe.
Hello.
Chris.
Hi.
Ollie. And obviously myself. So, before we get started talking, how's your week been, guys? Anyone got any sort of news?
Not
Anything?
too bad. I mean, I've been working all week. Yeah.
Workaholic.
I know. I work too much. I do.
You do work a bit too much.
Chris, anything good today, this week?
No, I just went out yesterday. That's about it, really. Nothing too exciting.
Party animal.
Where'd you go? Who with?
I went to Croydon.
Oh.
You just give up your location. They've got a mile radius now.
Mate.
Ollie, what about you? What have you been up to this week?
What have I been up to this week? Do you want me to say my story?
Go ahead.
I pissed myself this week, but it wasn't it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't a big deal.
Elaborate.
So story is, right, I'm in bed, right, trying to get some sleep. And you know when you're getting to that stage where you know you're about to drift off. Okay, so I'm all tucked up, but I know I'm not going to fall asleep because I know that I need to go to the toilet before I can properly just fall asleep like that. So with the lights all off, because I thought if I turn the lights on, I'm gonna wake up. So I walked to the bathroom and up the toilet seat, but I forget to do the pants, so I just let go, and then that woke me up more than if the lights were off. So
Yeah, but why wouldn't you just sit down?
do you sit down when you pee?
When it's like in that situation, yeah. When I don't want any lights on. Take a seat, mate.
I'm not gonna lie.
Just
Unless
peeing
I'm
in the dark.
You'll never miss, and you got the safety of not pissing yourself.
Unless I'm pressed for time, I always sit down when I'm having a piss. Not gonna lie.
But you sleep naked anyway, so
True.
you wouldn't have that issue.
Wow, details. God.
Saucy Obi.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Alright, so I'm going to talk about some quick film news. So I want your guys' reaction on this. So Samuel L. Jackson said that he thinks that British actors shouldn't play African American roles. So I think it's the guy who's the main role in Get Out. I think he's actually a British actor.
Mm-hmm.
So he's saying like people like that. So he's saying like Americans should get roles for like American characters before any other like people from other countries.
What? That's rubbish.
Yeah,
that's like Andrew
that's
Lincoln because he's English, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he's
Doing
English.
The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And he's not black, but so Samuel L. Jackson's just saying for black people. Or
Well,
African American.
he said African American specifically, but
Well, it doesn't matter. It's acting.
Yeah.
So if you're good at
if you're good, you're good.
in it, if an English person is better at acting an African American than actual African American, then why not?
I'm surprised about that.
So
Yeah.
am I.
It's a bit strange.
It's kind of weird.
Good. Well,
I think he was saying that like something about Hollywood being too quick to overlook people who are actually from America, with regards to rather than picking people who are from other countries. But then I was saying like if you're from I don't know England or whatever, or Australia, or whatever, and your American accent, if you're a good actor and your American accent is spot on, then go for it. You're the better candidate.
Again, Walking Dead. Maggie is Australian,
really?
and she's.
It's really weird though when you see have you ever heard Adele speak? She's like this
Oh, yeah.
amazing singer. And she's
Yeah.
like, all right guys,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
go down to Essex.
She's from Tottenham, I think. Adele.
Is it? Really?
Yeah.
She was from Tottenham.
Not bad.
I suppose she's a scumbag.
And
Anyway.
Sounds
And
like-
Croydon as well.
Is it? Decent. Alright, so that's all I got for film.
But
news.
that's really
It's really,
weird.
really,
That's-
really bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't really hear of. I'm trying to think of British films, but you don't really hear. How many times do you really get American people coming over and doing
Tom Hardy?
British accents? Boom. Tom Hardy's English.
Yeah,
Is
it
he?
is,
That's
yeah.
what he's American.
I don't think I can think of
See,
Game of Thrones. Peter Dinklage and
Yeah.
the woman who plays Cersei. They're both American, and they put on like. Yeah. I know.
The girl that plays Cersei is Irish.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, no, so I never done. Fair enough.
So there's only one American.
Boom.
Peter Dinklage. Then. Cool. But all right. So we're gonna segue from Samuel Jackson. We're gonna talk about Kong, as he was in that. Joe, do you mind if we spoil this?
You can spoil it. 'cause
Yeah,
so
so spoilers
spoilers
for
incoming.
the rest of this podcast, for the rest of what we're going to be talking about.
Chris and Ollie and I just saw this film. So, guys, what are your impressions? What did you think? Ratings?
I thought it was quite good actually. Considering if I related to the last one, was it just called King Kong last one?
Yeah.
King Kong last
It was a
one,
lot better. I think,
That
than
was
one.
7 years ago.
Was it? Blimey.
That was
It was quite a long
shit
film
film.
as well.
That was with
wasn't
Jack
it?
Black
Yeah.
and
Really bad.
thing is, I thought this film was going to go south when they had the man from Step Brothers come into it, and I thought they were going to make it really try and make it too humorous.
John C. Reilly.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, but he actually did quite a good role actually.
Yeah. There's a couple of bits that said it was quite funny.
Yeah.
I saw he was on the island for 20 years. I think if you haven't really had any contact, and I know he's like surrounded by people.
Yeah.
But like they don't really speak, so
No.
after 28 years, I think he'd be a little bit more insane.
Do you reckon?
And he was wearing like this perfectly clean clothes. I thought he'd be.
Yeah, but
ripped up.
he said that he knew they were coming. Yeah, they should have been ripped up probably. But
Yeah,
he said he knew they
could
were
have
coming,
been
so
like
that's why.
really, really skanky, like some, like underweight and things like that. Because I mean, if he's just on an island, depends what the quality of life is like.
Like Tom Hanks was in Castaway.
I think one thing that
Well said.
one thing that annoyed me about the film, maybe not annoyed me, but I just thought it's just so like typical, like such a typical Western ideology. So you go to a land that you've never been to before, you don't know what's there, whatever. You invade it, and then the people who are inhabited, or the creatures that are inhabiting it, are angry that you're invading their land, and then you get angry at them for being angry that you invaded their land. It just makes no sense. So Samuel L. Jackson's character, right? So they invade
this island, but they don't know that
this
it's
uncharted island.
Right.
Like got a huge.
And straight away they drop bombs on the island. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
These bombs wake up some creatures, and these creatures are basically trying to kill King Kong. And King Kong is angry about this, that these creatures be woken up. So he fucks up the whole army. They bring loads, like a fleet of helicopters, loads of people there, and he fucks up probably 90% of them, kills them, stomps on them, smashes them together, all sorts of stuff. And then Samuel Jackson's character's like, oh no, we gotta kill
Get
this.
revenge for my people. Kill my men.
Obviously, understand he killed your men, but you've invaded his land, you've invaded his territory, so you've done the wrong first.
Plus, going in with like 10 helicopters, what chance does he really think he's got?
Exactly.
That was everything.
Do you know what gets on my nerves, right? I don't know if obviously it's the plot of the film, but I'm trying to add some realism to it. I don't know if it's ego or what, but if it's me and I've got my helicopter, and as soon as I go to the helicopter and I see a 100-foot gorilla, turn the thing the fuck around and get out. They're like, let's just start shooting it, as if the bullets are gonna fucking hurt it. Just turn around and go home. The film would have been over in 10 minutes.
Yeah, true.
It winds me
Also,
up.
the only thing I know, obviously they didn't do it. Obviously they didn't do it in the film because then there would be no film. But I would have thought that as a military man, that Samuel L. Jackson or one of the other military people would have looked into this guy who was giving them the project, because story, lo and behold, the guy who wanted the project to start knew about these massive monsters, and he didn't tell anyone until he got there, when they were like, tell us more.
Also, when the bit where so they've got to the island, loads of their men have died. The guy who paid them to come to the island, or ordered them to come to the island, is just like sitting on some like little creek thing, and Samuel Jackson comes up to him and he pulls a gun at him and he's like, tell me what the fuck's going on, basically. And the guy explains everything to him. So he explains that he knew about everything, he knew about the dangers. It's whether they dropped the bombs on purpose because they knew it would wake up, or it would get the creatures to like come out and start attacking them and stuff like that. So if I'm Samuel Jackson, I'm shooting this guy in the head straight away, because he's led them to a fucking death trap. Yeah. And obviously this guy...
Yeah, but he wanted to find out what he knew, so would you shoot him after he told you everything? Because that's a bit low.
I would have. I'd be like, tell me everything you know.
But what if you survived it? You'd have to live with that guilt.
So?
This guy, a robot.
What? This guy led me to a fucking death trap. Like,
but if you get out alive, then...
That doesn't matter. If I lead you into a house with a serial killer and we make it out alive, you're still going to be angry at me for leading you to the fucking house with a serial killer.
Yeah, but I wouldn't kill you whilst you're in the house with me.
Would you
if
be angry?
You tell me about
would you be
I'd
angry?
be angry, but I wouldn't kill you about it.
I'd kill you. If it was that way around, I'd kill you.
No.
Sorry.
Do you know what, one thing in the film...
Make love, mate, not hate.
Yeah. One bit in the film, when the guy is basically saying... Did he say his dad went to war and then didn't come back and they couldn't find a body? Yeah. And then when this guy was like, he disappeared in the war, I was like, please don't do this. Please don't tell me he's your dad that's been long lost for like 40 years. And then he said his name and I was like, oh, how are they going to work this one into it? And then lo and behold, he wasn't his dad, which I was quite glad about, really, because I thought that would have been so stupid.
Yeah, it was silly.
Yeah.
I was saying to Ollie earlier, one of the things that I don't know if it annoyed either of you two in that film. I just thought there was too many creatures. I thought I feel like there was too many monsters.
Wayne,
What,
my
different
opinion,
variations?
Yeah, too many
Or just the
different
number?
different
Right.
variations.
Okay.
So the thing with this one that, well, the last King Kong with 2005 with Jack Black and all the others.
Yeah.
There was a scene in that with the insects that I think
Yeah.
freaked a lot of people out because it was like made you cringe and you were like
Yeah.
sitting in the dark and you're like. So I think they just took that but to a really crazy level because this was like smaller insects in that film and they're like they're all over you like I'm a celebrity, get me out of here, whatever, and you know you've been smothered and that's like an awful thing to think about.
Yeah.
But these ones are just like sit on you and you're just
dead.
splattered.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any kind of fear about that.
Mm.
So if you've just got like, there weren't even, I know you said there was too many, but I don't actually think there are a lot, like, of creatures.
Yeah.
All you really saw are like loads of birds and then like 4 massive like,
It was just annoying me.
lizards.
It was annoying that they were constantly in danger.
I think it's because it's like this whole idea of they're going to make the MonsterVerse and it's not going to be this whole new opening because on the post-credit scene there wasn't just Godzilla they showed. They
There's quite a few
showed
other
a
things,
massive butterfly kind of looking thing. I didn't see what the other ones were. I couldn't really make them out, but you make the assumption that there is going to be plenty more where this came from.
Giant killer butterfly.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But considering this film, I think made 61 million on its box office debut.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Considering a lot of people are going to be critical of it.
I think, sorry, I was just going to say one good thing about it was that you know you see Kong tear up shit within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, they didn't.
Whereas
that's what I liked.
Godzilla, you see half
Pretty
a minute
much
of him
nothing.
right
Yeah.
at the end of the movie. And you're
Yeah.
like,
They
that was
didn't
pathetic.
long it out.
Yeah.
Literally, just 10 minutes of the film, there he was,
Like,
fucking
slashed
everybody.
I
up.
literally
Yeah.
thought they were going to get to the island and they were going to be trekking
That's
about
what I
for
thought.
ages.
That's what I
so
thought.
they did that. Spot on
Yeah.
that.
Fair play.
The thing for me that was a bit like not sure this is right. It's a bit of a plot hole in my mind. Was didn't the kid like there was a massive explosion.
Right.
This younger army person like kind of got knocked out, fell over.
Okay.
And right by him was loads of toxic canisters.
Yeah.
And they all exploded. So Tom Hiddleston's character, I can't remember his name, he puts a mask on, goes running in, chopping all this crap up. He's an ex-war veteran or whatever, so he's pretty good at it.
Can I interrupt you really quickly? Sorry. I was saying, how funny would it have been if John C. Reilly's character, when he chucked in the sword, he went to grab it and just sliced his hand off. Sorry, carry on. I was thinking, I hope that happens, but no.
No, I couldn't. No, I
Sorry.
couldn't.
Go on, sorry.
So he gets there, he gets to the kid, and then as soon as he gets there,
the
he
mask
takes
off.
the mask off. But you can literally see the blue toxic smoke around him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you've just got through it, and you've taken the mask
Did
off.
he take the mask off to put it on the kid?
No, he just took the
chucked it on.
mask off.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just like maybe that's how quick it disperses. I don't know.
Maybe there
but
was wind coming from that direction and
Yeah.
the guy was actually safe.
he
So,
could feel it against him, couldn't he? Yeah. Yeah, but as a whole, I think that film was.
I
very
always
good.
thought King Kong though was about like the relationship between. Well, I don't know if this was just because of the last film that I saw of that.
Kong and the
He
girl.
does end up in Manhattan.
That's what I
and
was gonna...
about the
Yeah.
not really a love interest, but him
That's what I was
and
gonna
him and the
ask.
lady.
Do you think
There
that
was
Brie
none of
Larson's
that.
character in the next film might be the girl he grabs and runs to the top of the Empire
Well,
State Building?
I don't think the Empire State Building scene's going to be in it at all.
okay.
I don't think because this was Kong Skull Island.
Do we
wasn't
think
it?
that there's
So,
going to be a Kong 2 then, or just a straight into Kong versus Zilla?
I think it's going to
Okay.
go
Because both Godzilla and Kong were doing the same thing. Like Kong was defending his island, and Godzilla was actually saving the humans from the other giant monsters trying to breed and have other more monsters. So I don't know why they would want to fight each other.
Don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You'd need to.
Unless we into
you need to watch all
intervene
the
somehow.
old Japanese
Well,
films where they
here it
fight each
says
other all
They
the
fight.
time.
It's just people dressed up and
Yeah.
it's like Kong and Godzilla. That's
Yeah.
wicked.
And you've got all like mechanical Godzillas.
Yeah, Jesus. There was a game on the PS2, I think, that I used to play with like Godzilla
with
like
all the
thing.
monsters.
Yeah, that was so jokes. I wish I remembered what it was though. But I think I said it last time. It might have been one of the previous episodes I said about the MonsterVerse. And here it was in 2015, Legendary confirmed that they would unite Godzilla and King Kong in Godzilla vs. Kong set for 2020.
2020.
So I'm going to guess there's going to be a film in between, maybe a Godzilla 2 or some other
They'll do a
That'd be a-
Godzilla
giant
2
that'd be
and
a set of
species.
either of them, though, mate.
yeah.
Yeah.
They'll do a Godzilla 2 and a Kong 2 to like meet them together, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Have you-
It's
In
here
Man-
actually.
in,
It's
like, Manhattan.
Godzilla, King of the Monsters on March the 22nd, 2019. Then Godzilla vs Kong, which is not the official title, May 2020.
Have either of you guys seen Pacific Rim?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
No,
I thought it was quite good. Do you know what?
Oh no,
I didn't mind
I
it.
don't know if could they bring that into this because that's like a that's
maybe,
literally
you know.
about giant monsters and people, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they could possibly do it. I mean, that didn't go very well with the box offices. I don't
What,
think.
Well, it
Pacific
was
Rim?
rubbish.
It was a
Oh.
rubbish film,
I
but
thought it was alright.
it's kind of like a guilty pleasure film, isn't it? It's shit, but you really like it.
Yeah, it's like it reminded me of a cartoon when I was younger.
Well, with the machines, Gundam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one. I've like brought back a few like childhood memories kind of
Mm.
thing. That's why I wanted to really watch that film, but it didn't really make any progression when looking at it.
I was going to ask about one thing in the film. I said this to Ollie a minute ago. Chris, you ran in the room at the time, but the bit where John C. Reilly's character is sailing away from the indigenous people, and he's like, "Oh, I guess this is a goodbye," sort of thing, and then so like some sort of like quite dramatic music plays, and I think it's supposed to be like quite a heartfelt moment. But I was saying to Ollie, it's not really like it didn't really pay off because there was not really any. We didn't really see any relation between him and those people. We didn't really see how he connected with them, or like obviously we saw them like kind of communicate, but like that's literally it. So when they were doing like this proper like it wanted to be like emotional goodbye sort of thing, I was a bit like, oh, it's not really. I'm not really feeling it because I feel like he doesn't really know these people.
Yeah.
Like
Does it explain why he was there? If he like
he went there World War II and he got
okay.
stranded
Oh.
with his another
His
guy.
mate, I
Yeah.
think,
Oh, okay.
but his mate
And
died.
his mate died. Yeah. And
So I
he-
think
and he
I made
took
the
him
assumption his mate died. Did they say how his mate died?
I think they said that the indigenous people killed him.
Yeah, so I'm assuming because he made it a big thing to not a big thing, but he made it a thing to tell them the rules as they were going to places, and he was like, "Do not touch anything.
Yeah.
This is theirs," like
Right.
kind of thing. So my thoughts are maybe that other guy touched something and maybe did it. That's why he's a bit cautious. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Maybe I'm jumping the gun with that. But I'll tell you what though, for a film where majority of the cinema was a younger generation, even there were some kids in there like under the age of 12. Like this was kind of a gory film. Like
Was it?
Well, not gory, but it was quite violent. Like,
Yeah, it was quite violent.
You had that stick insect like stab the guy
Yeah.
in the mouth.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that was a bit weird.
it was grim, and then like you had and the same thing trying to chop at that guy who was attached to his gunky stuff.
Yeah.
It was pretty brutal, and like you saw loads of people go flying.
I think it was violent, but I don't think it was gory.
Yeah, true. I'll tell you what bit I actually did like as well. When the guy went to sacrifice himself,
Yeah.
and
You
he
like
got-
that bit?
Yeah,
we were just talking about that.
I thought it was really good how like because he's got these grenades and he's
Yeah.
just popped them and he's waiting for this thing to come and like essentially eat him, I assume.
Right.
And instead of eating him, the thing just whacks him with his tail and just knocks him into
Yeah.
a mountain and,
the
he
grenades
explodes.
Oh,
so he,
So-
she kills herself for no reason.
Yeah,
I felt kind of bad.
That's
I
so
felt kind
cool.
of bad, but I thought as the film goes, that was pretty good because the creatures aren't stupid in this film. The creatures are highly intelligent, while that man was actually meant to be quite stupid, wasn't he?
He's just supposed to be a little weirdo.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but yeah, it was good.
So yeah, anything else we got to add? No?
It's good.
Last thing I was going to say is like, even though I thought it was like a decent film, I felt like there wasn't really any standout performers in terms of like acting or anything. I thought it was all just like quite steady.
Yeah.
You know. It was alright.
Yeah,
It
it was
wasn't
just
bad. There was no
like-
bad actors, but it was just
Standard.
standard. Yeah.
Standard, yeah.
And they did have the love interest a little bit actually. With,
Oh, okay.
with
What
Brie
was-
I'm
Larson
glad
and
that they
Godzilla.
didn't make them like start getting off though.
Yeah.
They just like they kind of teased it.
When they were
sort of,
seeing
well, not
like the
really.
Northern Lights and they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Because
reminds me of.
he kind of comes along and she like puts her hand on his face and he's okay with it, and then
Right.
later on she gets knocked off a building,
Yeah.
knocked off a mountain
he,
even, and he saves her basically.
Oh, okay.
But he leaves her, he saves her and he leaves her. He seems
Are
upset
you talking
by
about the
it.
love interest between her and Kong? Or
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about her and the dude.
I was talking about her and Tom Hiddleston, but
Yeah.
Chris was talking about. That's what I said. Oh yeah, they went get off. I was thinking like they're gonna start getting off with Kong. But with the Kong thing, the part where she put her hand on his nose, I was saying like it would be really funny. We just like ate her hand or beat up or something. That serves you right for being so stupid, putting your hand on a fucking monster, expecting him not to fucking attack you. Anyway, right. So
What would you rate the film?
I would say 6.5.
7.
Yeah, nothing higher than a 7.
Fair play.
Alright, cool. So, that's a film we watched this week. A film that some of us have watched, Chris has half watched, and Joe hasn't watched, so we're not going to spoil it.
But I
It's
definitely will
Logan.
be watching.
Yeah, Logan. Me and Glenn talked about it a bit on the last episode, so hopefully it'll be a bit more of a group discussion as a few of us have seen it. So, Chris, as you've only seen like half of it, would you say?
Yeah.
What do you think of it so far?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's unfortunate I couldn't see the other half.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think it starts off quite well. Like, you're introduced to what it is right now, like the characters, and I think that's quite good. And it shows. I still have a big problem with the year that it originates in, because I don't think. I think they've. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a long enough period of time.
I agree with you.
To completely.
I agree with you.
It's set in like
2029.
2029, yeah.
So, considering what was you saying about one of the films?
Days of Future Past, when he comes back, when Wolverine comes back into the present world where everything's rosy, it's 2023. So it's only 6 years between, and everything's fucked up from 2023 to 2029.
So, explain, like, without giving too much away, why is everything fucked up?
So
mutants are gone.
So yeah,
Right.
no new mutants have been born. So it makes you think. So what's happened to the other mutants? But in the film they do talk about it quite a bit.
Okay.
So
Right.
clearly, I think the mutants have been hunted down.
Right.
And
Probably slaughtered.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they do mention about someone was saying, that someone thought they saw the Wolverine around here,
yeah.
and like it's kind of like, okay, so everyone's on the lookout for the Wolverine.
Right.
But obviously Hugh Jackman's kind of Wolverine character's
He's old.
He's old.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
suited and booted a
He's
little bit.
Weathered.
Yeah.
So there are still mutants around, but I don't think they don't want to be in the light. And
Right.
especially, I mean, this is from like the very first X-Men. They're trying to weaponize like mutants, and
Yeah.
I mean that was how Wolverine pretty much came around,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that's one of the main things that with the
Right,
last few
okay.
mutants, they're trying to like I think capture them and maybe get their abilities.
Yeah.
But
Oh, okay.
There was so like in the last episode, Glenn said he found the actress who plays X-23 annoying. Chris, what did you think about?
X-23.
Yeah, the little girl.
The little
sorry.
girl.
Oh right,
Little girl,
okay.
yeah.
I know what she's called.
Hmm?
I know what she's called.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't
Oh.
saying it for. I was
okay.
just saying it because
Was I thought X-23 was what's the name of the lady in X-Men? No, in the first Wolverine film.
the lady.
She has two claws, doesn't she? Is that X-Men?
Well, no,
Oh,
she.
I know who you're
she-
on about. But I don't
What,
know
the one
what
with the
her name is.
fingernails?
Yeah.
No,
Is she?
that's. I know who you're on about.
I
I
know
can't
who you're
remember
on
her
about.
actual name though. Like her mutant name. Death Claw?
I can't remember her name.
Oh, Lady Deathstrike. Right. Okay.
That's right. I
Cool.
was close.
Yeah. What do I think of her? What her acting?
Yeah, do you think she was annoying or do you like it?
Didn't really say much, did she? Really?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a bit like say something. Like, I don't know. She was alright. I mean, there was not a lot she could really do. It's kind of amazed that they even let a little kid do all that violence. To be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
pretty
It's
brutal.
pretty
wasn't it?
gory
Yeah.
film.
And she's well good at fighting in this
Yeah.
film. Like, she knows her stuff. But she's been trained. That's the thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, she's done her bit. I don't
Can
know.
I
Don't know if
spoil
she's
one
exceptional.
minor thing for you? But it's really not. It's really not a spoiler.
Okay.
cover
So-
it is if you want.
so
Josh, cover it is.
The actress who plays Laura, the little girl, she's Mexican.
Yeah.
That's not really a spoiler, is it?
No.
She's Mexican. She's got a Mexican accent, right? There are. Do you know what? I'm gonna spoil it. So I'm not gonna bother. Sorry. Don't worry. I'll move on to something else. Don't worry. I just wanted to talk about quickly. I feel like Hugh Jackman in this film. This is definitely the best X-Men film that he's done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Acting wise.
really
Isn't
good.
this his last?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it says this is last.
unless of course they make some kind of contract, which they won't, with Marvel to get him in the Avengers. But
Yeah.
they definitely.
There is
Will
one
not
thing
do
actually
that.
that I do like about this, and it's that he finds a comic book and it's got the X-Men.
Oh yeah,
And he's
I've
like,
seen that,
this
yeah.
doesn't happen. Only
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
quarter of it actually happened, and
Yeah.
I kind of like that. Just because before this we were talking about other like how comics
other
end,
comic-
and you
yeah,
said
yeah.
that like the Hulk fights Wolverine and
Yeah.
the Hulk dies or something
I
like
like
that.
that.
So
I like that. There's a point. So, have you got to the bit? What bit are you up to? Sorry, Chris.
I finished at the house when they're having the meal. Just after that.
Just after that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, have you gotten to the bit? There's like an explosion. Have you gotten to that bit yet?
Yeah, like Wolverine just carried X-23 away.
So, I'm no military man, so I don't really know how these sorts of things work. But it seems to me in these films that grenades are not very powerful, because a grenade goes...
Whoa, it's different because grenade in Kong like blew up half a mountainside. A grenade in this just like blew up a van.
It blew up a van, that's it. Like, I feel like a grenade should have killed a lot more people, but it didn't.
I suppose I'm not no military person either, but I suppose it depends where it is. I suppose if it's on the ground, it's just gonna take a bit of the ground, go upwards, isn't it? And I suppose the force can't go any further than the thing that's above it, really, unless you're gonna fling that thing somewhere. But I don't know. Yeah,
I
that's
feel like
a good
lot
point.
of people should die when these things happen because I feel like people treat grenades as if they're not.
So,
but if there was, sorry, Joe, it's because like this film is a bit of cat and mouse. So if what you're talking about, if the other guys did die, then it would kind of be over and they'd just be in the clear.
Yeah, very true.
So someone let off a grenade in like a van. And there's people on the outside or driving it and they didn't die.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Basically.
Like the villain.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's not really a spoiler. So I got one last thing that annoyed me about the film, but apart from that, like I loved it. I've seen it twice now and I've enjoyed it both times. So Wolverine has an adamantium bullet.
Yeah.
Right, and in the start of the film, Caliban says, "If you're going to use it to blow your brains out, can you do it in another room so I don't have to clean it up?" And I was thinking, would the adamantium bullet kill him? Because in X-Men Origins, Thingy shoots him with a adamantium bullet, and
he regenerates from it.
Yeah, he obviously loses his memory, but he lives.
But he doesn't say he's actually going to kill himself. I don't think.
No, he doesn't. But I'm saying.
But he says he keeps it as a reminder, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. But I'm just saying, like, Caliban saying that is redundant anyway because it wouldn't kill him. No. Yes.
I would say no.
Yeah.
I've no proof to say otherwise, so I'll probably say no as well.
He would just regenerate from it.
It's
He'd probably lose his memory again.
Yeah, I mean, if adamantium's the strongest metal, I mean, hitting the strongest metal against another strong metal,
it cancels itself out, doesn't it?
I don't know. Well,
but having said that, I just saw, I think, is it Wolverine? With where they're like in Japan,
Oh yeah,
and then he's fighting an adamantium robot.
Yeah, and he gets his claws chopped off.
Yeah.
But I mean that. Yeah,
it's like superheated adamantium, and you can do that.
I think that film's comfortably the worst of the X-Men films.
Yeah,
I really don't like the film. People really hate X-Men Origins, but I thought that was much better than Wolverine Wolverine film.
I think the thing that with X-Men Origins was how they depicted Deadpool. And that it was quite a shit film in general.
I liked it. Everyone's telling me it's shit.
I thought it was alright. I just thought
but there was continuity errors in it.
Yeah, I just thought the Deadpool character was an absolute.
That's the thing. I didn't know what Deadpool was like then.
But I didn't understand. Like, I've never had information to say that Deadpool has all these abilities. So why they went and made this character and named him Deadpool is besides me. Like, I don't get why they did that. And they could have named him anything. They could have made up a name, but they went for Deadpool. I mean, I don't. Yeah,
you have to
wonder. Get it. They just, and then it's like the thing with the brother, Cyclops' brother as well. Like
Cyclops' brother. Yeah, I know. I remember Scott Summers being in Wolverine.
Yeah.
Oh, Scott Summers, that's the one.
Yeah, Cyclops.
Cyclops was in it. Sorry, that's the continuity error because
he'd have to be like 50 by the time the X-Men 1 came out.
Yeah.
Because that was in like the fucking 80s, and then X-Men 1 was set in like 2003, and
Cyclops is.
And then but Havoc is in First Class.
Or First Class, yeah.
And he's young in that.
Yeah.
And I don't think...
Isn't he... He's his... Oh. Is he his younger brother or his older brother? I'm not sure. But there is age...
There are a lot of errors.
There's things to do in that film with age that just don't really...
There's a lot of time
match
errors.
up at all.
Time pretty errors.
But, so, with Wolverine... like Glenn said in the last episode, it's not really a superhero film. It's more like a family drama... Western sort of vibe sort of film.
Okay.
Like, and I think I really liked that aspect of it because it's nice to like.
It's different.
Yeah, it's different to exactly.
I think they always overdo it when there's lots of superhero movies. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the Apocalypto, God, that was rubbish. That just
You mean
the fight scene. and
Apocalypse?
Is it?
Oh, X-Men,
Oh,
X-Men
God, yeah, Apocalypse.
X-Men
It's
Apocalypse.
Mel Gibson's film.
Yeah.
X-Men
Apocalypse, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that film sucked.
God,
That film was rubbish.
Like they're getting all
Yeah.
these guys and that.
Yeah.
I know you're gonna crucify me for this, but I know with like the Avengers and all of that, it's like when you have too many people,
Yeah,
it gets to a point
film
where
was
you're
silly.
just like
I didn't like
the
it.
fight scenes are just, not
Yeah.
really any real drama. And this was kind of like a connection. Like there was a bit between like Hugh Jackman and this kid because obviously they're like a father and daughter kind
Yeah.
of relationship they
Yeah.
have. And then the bit when he's in the van, and
Yeah.
she's like not saying anything, and he's like, no, fuck, I don't want to
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
Like I
And
just thought
even-
that was really great.
Wolverine's connection with Professor Xavier, that's quite like a father-son relationship as well. And I really liked it was like a grandfather-father
Yeah.
child relationship.
They tried to play
yeah.
on that a bit as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because when they were in the house, he was like, "Yeah, this is my old man" and stuff like that.
He
And
called him Chuck. My dad Chuck.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say actually, so last week Glenn was saying that like Patrick Stewart should have like he thinks that Patrick Stewart would have gotten like a nomination for maybe not an Oscar but something. I think Patrick Stewart was actually pretty amazing in that.
He was very good.
I don't know if he's won an Oscar or has
Whatever.
been. Yeah, if he's
I don't know.
been nominated for.
Probably for something.
Yeah, he
You know?
must have done for
Yeah.
something. Probably not.
But
Perfect. Professor X and
his
that.
performance in that film was
very good.
was
Yeah.
good.
It was very good.
Yeah.
Really good.
That's the thing, I really want you to see it, Joe, and
Yeah.
you
No.
just finish
Okay.
it so we can just proper go
I'll
in
try and watch
on
it.
the
You
chat.
can just slate it. You'd be like, nah, this it's
Yeah.
all wrong.
There was also like one of the bits that just stood out for me in the film. There's just a part where Wolverine is just staring at Laura, and like I don't know if they did with some of the makeup, but he's got such a look of anguish on his face, and I was just like, this is just like the shot of it, and he just looked so down, sad, tired, old, and I was like, he just encompassed it all in that look, and I was like, it was really well done.
Yeah.
But
That's the thing. I quite like Logan as the old man because of everything that he has been through. It's like how long has he been alive? Like 187 years.
He's like 200 years old. Yeah.
He's got 200 years worth of just shit
Yeah.
that he's been through, and you can see it in his
See it in his face, yeah.
do you know what they could have done?
Mm.
And obviously I haven't seen all of it, so you guys would have to fill me in if this is the case.
Okay.
But what they could have done is they could have had some kind of like newspaper article or something on the TV, or maybe even one of them say it to really give us a background of why they're in that situation in the first place.
I quite agree with you.
Yeah.
I quite
'Cause
agree with you.
You're just it's good how they've done it. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
like you're just a bit unknown about all of it. You don't know
They
why.
give, they give little snippets in like little bits of film, and then you kind of have to put it together
Together.
yourself.
Do you
But
not
I
like
wouldn't
that?
fail they just smacked me at the head with it and told me what it was.
It was, yeah.
You know
Do
what I mean?
you don't like it when they kind of so like if there's an open ending, do you hate that?
Oh yeah.
So like
I- I
Inception when he just leaves it spinning.
need-
Like is he in dream or is he? In
I need
the real world?
definitive answers.
They got a definitive answer in that in the end.
That I think
Yeah.
that was the USA version.
Yeah.
It would be quite cool because there is another Old Man Logan comic where he basically kills all of the X-Men, and the way that
Bastard.
the reason he done it is quite good, and I think that would link in quite well to this film by what you've just
What's the
told.
reason he
Okay.
done it? Can you?
Mysterio, which is a Spider-Man villain, basically manipulates his mind and shows every single X-Man as every single villain in the Marvel universe, and Wolverine kills all of them. Mysterio turns back his mind, and it's the X-Men.
Wow.
Isn't Mysterio
Rey Mysterio.
or is it from South Park? It's Kenny.
Right.
Before
Go
we
on,
move
sorry,
on,
go
I
on,
wanted
go
to say, so if you were an X-Man, what would be your power? Because I was saying to Oaks yesterday, there's a kid whose like ability was like with like trees and grass and like they can control nature.
Right. Okay.
So I was like, you can do all these amazing things, but what if you could just like, grow some herbs, smoke, you'd be the most relaxed person ever. You're like,
Hold on.
everyone's set.
Disclaimer: this podcast does not endorse marijuana, smoking, or any sort of drug use in any sort of way. Do what you want to do, but we don't endorse it. Thank you. Carry on.
That would be my power.
That'd be your power.
Set.
I quite like the telekinesis power, like so Professor Xavier's power, because he's just like a bit of a Like his mind is just
He can do it
ridiculous.
all.
Yeah.
I like
Or
that.
even Jean Grey, 'cause she can
Yeah.
like move shit as well.
Yeah, I like.
So wait, you'd like to move shit or be able to like control?
Well,
read
probably
people's
I'll go with Jean
minds?
Grey because she can do both. She can read people's
Yeah.
minds and she can. Like,
Would you be a bit worried though about what people are thinking? Because one thing I think
I'd use it to-
we've all thought this at one point, but if our thoughts were broadcast live, we'd all be in prison, or
fair point.
hunted
To
for
be fair,
nothing.
I'd use it for crime. But whenever I,
You've just displayed the use of drugs.
yeah, that's fine.
Perfect.
But no, whenever I.
He'd go to the cashier like at the bank and be like, "Give me money," and they'd be like, "Here's your money,
exactly.
sir."
Yeah.
No, but
It's not technically a crime because they're just giving it to you.
there you go.
It's true.
Thank you, Chris. Loophole. You'll be my lawyer when it comes to it. But I always think whenever someone asks me, "Oh, what superpower would you want?" I always think, "What can I commit the most crime with and get away with it?"
It'll probably be a mistake, innit? Like,
Yeah,
not
that'd
be
be
a
a-
mistake, but have
yeah,
her
yeah,
power
yeah.
because she can turn into anyone.
Anyone,
And I think
yeah.
she gets their power when she does it as well.
No, I thought that was the point of the Days of Future Past, that they said, "Oh, Mystique's like they've got Mystique's ability, but she can't take other people's powers." I thought that was Rose.
Oh yeah, you might be right about that actually.
I think
So she can just imitate the looks, but
Yeah,
that-
which
she
should
can't
then
take 'em.
which then beg the question on how the robots then turned.
I think that was an error. That
Yeah,
I hadn't touched it again.
they-
I can't
because
remember.
because the robots
It's
There was a
essentially
reason for it though, why they could
why they could take.
clone people's powers. Yeah,
Oh.
I can't remember what. I honestly can't
Oh,
remember.
right.
Otherwise, I swear Mystique, she met all the X-Men. She would have all their powers, wouldn't she?
Yeah, true.
That's true.
Although if you could take like from Heroes or something, and we did live in a world of people with powers, I'll probably have the main
Don't say
character.
Silo.
No. I'd have the main character. Well, one of the main characters. I can't remember his name.
Peter.
Peter. I'll take
Something,
Peter's
something.
powers because he can essentially, when he's near someone, he's got their power and he keeps it forever.
Yeah.
Unless he gets hit, unless he explodes and forgets.
So that'd be your power,
Yeah.
Joe.
I'd go with Nightcrawler's power, teleportation.
You look like some.
Yeah, you'd be a dirty
Demented
goblin.
devil.
No, I wouldn't obviously look like Nightcrawler. I'd just
Uh.
have his powers, and just like at the snap of a finger be anywhere.
But only when you can see.
well,
Or in vision,
at the
isn't it?
at the start, doesn't he develop his power?
I think if he can vision.
Boom.
Not put it in vision.
Boom.
No.
Boom.
What about you, Ollie? Who would you go for?
I did mine. I
Yeah,
got
weed
grow
man.
some plants.
Oh yeah,
Weed man.
Weed Man. Yeah.
So, just want to quickly go through. Ollie, what would you rate Logan?
Logan, I definitely think it was the best one so far, especially for
I agree.
the Wolverine universe.
Yeah.
X-Men wise, I mean, it wasn't really an X-Men
No, it
film.
wasn't.
Um,
If you're including it, I think it's the best X-Men film that they've made.
I think it's one of the best. It's I don't know, top near the top.
Out of 10?
Yeah.
Out of 10, 8 maybe.
Fair enough. Chris, so far?
So far, I'd probably give it an 8 as well
Yeah,
at the moment.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. I'll give it a 8.5.
8.5.
Fair play.
Ooh.
Fair play.
Alright, so talked about all that. Let's move on. Yeah, so following Logan and Hugh Jackman, we're going to move on to Les Mis, which Hugh Jackman is in. I've seen it, but I'm not going to lie, I can't remember what happens. I know Anne Hathaway's in it, that's all I can remember
I
about
think he won a Tony for it, didn't he?
Did he?
Well,
Well,
he's definitely won I think he's won 2 Tonys, but I don't know if any. But he's really good in that.
What did you like about it? About the film?
What did I like about it? I didn't know. I was a little bit skeptical at first. Have you guys seen
I
it?
haven't seen
Right,
it.
you
Yeah,
can-
so
you can
every-
spoil it as well. I
every-
don't mind.
It's about the French Revolution.
Yeah.
But everything about it is sung. So
Oh, okay.
even just a small conversation like, "How you doing? You're good." Who's in the house? Oh, mum. It's all
just
just
singing?
it's sung,
Yeah.
but it's
Okay.
actually it's quite interesting. I thought, oh no, they should never do that in a film, but
Yeah.
it was really good. But obviously, I mean, Les Mis is based on a play that was written
Yeah.
however many years ago.
Yeah.
And
Really
it's
popular.
like been the most. It's been in theatres for the longest showing
Oh, really?
performance. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a big deal. So I think because it was a film before they brought it out in English as well.
Yeah.
It was a film with I think French actors, and obviously that was a big thing. So I need to see that one first. Really, should have saw that before.
Did you prefer Hugh Jackman's performance in Les Mis or in Logan?
He's not the same person, is he? He's totally different.
What was
Totally different.
better?
What was more convincing?
Actually, I say he's totally different. He's actually like a really old man, like in Les Mis towards the end.
Yeah.
He's like a crippled old man. What was better?
Yeah.
Um,
What was more compelling?
More compelling. I'd go with Les Mis,
Yeah,
actually.
okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it was like about the revolution, but it was kind of like a cat and mouse between him and Russell Crowe. And that was yeah, quite something.
I remember watching it and thinking Russell Crowe's not a very good singer.
You don't like his singing?
No, not really.
Oh yeah, because they all actually sung in the movie,
Yeah.
didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Did he act as angry as he was in Logan in Les Mis?
Oh yeah, at the start. Ooh man, I saw Wolverine there. Ooh, man.
Do you guys? Are you guys musical people? Do you guys really watch musicals? Any of you?
Not really.
I've seen High School
No.
Musical.
That's a musical, fair enough. It's a
I've
classic.
seen Hairspray.
Don't you like Pitch Perfect? We
Pitch
keep
Perfect.
going on about that. I think that's your favourite.
Pitch Perfect is the worst film I have seen this decade. How far are we into this decade? 7 years. Yeah, it's the worst film I've seen.
Mate,
awful.
Obi just loves that cup song.
We don't even like the cup song.
No, it's such a bad film. Like, and it just that film just topped up for me when they fucking got that stick that made you poo yourself or something, or made you vomit, or something like that.
Yeah, I think
There's a stick in it. I don't, you know what I'm talking about?
I don't remember that.
I swear there's a
I
bit where
don't
everyone
think-
starts fucking vomiting or something.
I don't remember it from that film.
Start shitting.
None.
Sorry.
Neither do I.
Oh,
That
yeah.
might be a different film.
Oh,
You're
okay.
thinking of a different
Oh,
film.
oh,
It must be.
Someone look it up. Someone look it
I'm
up.
thinking of Kick-Ass.
Yeah, you are
Yeah, it's
thinking of
Kick-Ass.
Well, regardless, Pitch Perfect's rubbish. Regardless.
Mate, number 3's coming out soon.
God. Ugh.
To be,
You literally, you'd have to pay me to watch that.
So do you not like musicals or you just don't watch them?
well, I've watched them. I've watched both the Pitch Perfects. I've watched High School Musicals, and they're just shit.
Oh,
In
yeah,
general,
yeah.
they're
High
just
School
shit.
Musical 1 and 2 defined our generation.
Zac Efron fan.
They were absolutely top-notch films.
They weren't.
The
though.
first one's better than the second one, but the second one's got better songs than the first one.
I tell you
The
what,
third one's rubbish.
Hairspray. Ooh, that's a good
Still
one.
haven't seen it.
That's catchy.
There's another film, I'm sure.
They're all better than La La Land. Putting it out there.
What about Glee?
Glee was sick.
Yeah,
up
we
until
haven't even talked about TV.
We
of
haven't
course.
really, but Glee was really good up to the 4th season. From the 5th, when all the original people left, then
Yeah, mate.
it got a bit downhill. By the time it
Glee
ended,
made me want to sing and dance at school.
I swear you tried to start a
Start an a cappella band.
yeah.
Where were you, mate? Where were you? You're my lead vocals, mate.
I would have
You're
been
my
like the
lead.
guy who's always dances but never sings. But no, Glee was sick. But anyways, let me move on from that. Right, so yeah, Ollie, you suggested to me that I watch 12 Angry Men. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if Joe,
I've
Chris,
never seen
Never
has
seen
seen
it.
it. Glenn recommended it to me as well, so I'm assuming that it's decent if the pair of you both tell me it's really good.
Yeah, it's an old school film. It's all black and white. Like no action, nothing about that. It's literally just 12 men in a room, but the dialogue about it, and it really makes you think about your behaviour, how it's not manipulated, but influenced by
Right, okay.
your peers essentially. So it's a bit of a like a psychological / social film. So definitely you guys have
Give
got to
it a
watch it for
watch.
Okay, I
next
might
week.
watch it actually.
Okay.
When they're deliberating, the jury, I don't know if this spoils it at all, but can you tell me how long they take to come to a decision?
Oh, it's the film. That's the entire film. Is
Okay.
them. So they start off with the case,
Right.
and quite quickly they go into another room and they have to discuss the case. And
Right.
I think it's a 90-minute film. So they're in this room all together for, just over an hour. Obviously, I think in the actual world it's a bit longer.
Yeah, 'cause I'm just
Um,
wondering, because I'm just going to go off on a bit of a tangent here. My sister was watching the People vs. O.J. Simpson TV
I've
show.
seen
the
that.
I was
other
going to
day.
say that, yeah.
And I was thinking, wasn't it like 4 hours the jury took, or something stupid like that, to come to a decision on.
Thing is, this is what this is one of the things that may have altered their decision. Like being in there for so long,
Yeah,
probably didn't like each other.
Yeah.
From what we saw, that some of them didn't.
yeah.
Then,
It's got to be unanimous, isn't it?
It does
Or-
have to be unanimous, yeah.
Yeah.
but they essentially manipulated their lead, because apparently when you're in a room with all these people, there's always one person who
Like a
takes the
leader.
lead of it.
Yeah.
And
chairman or something.
didn't she change her mind based on someone else they sent in, or?
Honestly, I can't remember, to be honest with
But
you.
it's.
But I was just thinking, because I know that when they said, he's not guilty. Yeah, spoilers. O.J. Simpson. they gave him a not guilty verdict.
Yeah.
After that, loads of people who were on the jury were like, we thought he was guilty, but there were so many people on the jury who were adamant that they weren't changing their stance. So in the end, we just gave in. And I was like, how can you have that sort of mentality?
Well, like 12 Angry Men, you get into
Well,
that, and
Yeah.
it's
I think
essentially.
that's nuts.
Well, I'm not going to spoil
Imagine
it,
you think someone's stonewall guilty, but because you want to get out of the because you want to, you think, I'm a bit tired or whatever, I don't like these people, I want to get out of the room, you'll just go with whatever someone else says. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Especially when you're dealing with someone's life, basically.
Yeah. Or putting a killer back out on the fucking road.
Exactly, yeah.
Mental.
Which they did.
Yeah, which they did. And the idiot got himself sent to jail anyway.
He went a bit nuts, didn't he?
Yeah. Are there any other, like, classic old films any of you guys have watched that you'd recommend? You know? Any sort of... Because I would give, I don't know if you've seen Rear Window. Any of you guys seen that?
What's that about?
No. Basically, it's this guy who...
Looks in his room window.
He's a... well, kind of, yeah. Literally, that's pretty much it. He breaks his leg. He's a photographer. He breaks his leg. And he's like, he's bedbound. So, like, he's trying to occupy himself by staring... He just stares out his window and just gets binoculars and just eavesdrops on people, basically. And he thinks he witnesses a murder, and it's basically about him trying to convince people that one of his neighbours has murdered another one of his neighbours.
Oh my god, this sounds like Shia LaBeouf in the film that he
Disturbia.
does.
It sounds like Disturbia.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I think that's quite a good film
Literally,
as well.
he's
Yeah.
under house arrest, I think.
Yeah.
So he thinks that his neighbour's killed someone,
Yeah.
and then he finds out that they did.
Did,
Oh,
yeah.
probably is.
Yeah,
Probably is
yeah.
something, yeah. But yeah, that's
Sorry,
just,
Karen.
no, it's right. It's just about him seeing what his different sorts of neighbours are doing. I watched it at uni because we were talking about like voyeurism and stuff like that, and how people love to either be watched or watch other people or something like that. But yeah, it was a decent watch.
I think we should do like an old school film session. Like we all pick a film from because there's like Casablanca we were talking about is one of the most used catchphrases in films. I think it's like here's looking at you, kid. Another one that I know about is Strangers on a Train, which is they both want someone like out their lives, so they swap the murders. So it's like you kill this person for me, I kill this person for you. So they'll never figure because it will be like. You know, I would have a motive, but obviously I'm in the innocent because I have an alibi. The only reason I know about that one is because I watch Modern Family, so watching something else has given me something else to watch.
Fair enough.
So
What's the name of that one again? I might watch that.
Strangers on a Train.
Strangers on a Train. Alright.
Fair play.
But talking of like kind of old films, I'd recommend Disturbia. I think that's a good one. We were talking about Smoking Aces last week. I think that's a
because we were talking about John Wick.
I think that's a really good. I think it's a good film.
Sell
I think
it to us, Chris. Sell it to us.
sell it to us, Jesus! Isn't it basically they need to get this guy to give evidence for the mafia? Is it? And then they've got all these hitmen out to kill him, but inevitably. No, you're going to have to do a better job than me selling this. I can't quite remember the storyline, actually.
I can't quite remember it, mate. It's
I
all
can't
new.
really
It's
sell it.
essentially like all assassins in competition. It's like a group of assassins in competition again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that Ryan Reynolds is in it, and he's still like his quirky, like, rude character.
Yeah.
It's classic, like Deadpool
What year was it, mate?
assassin.
Or roughly.
Early 2000s, I reckon.
Okay.
But I think it's quite good because like they're all a bit wacky as well, aren't they? They're not the
They've
generic.
all got their different ways
So was
of
it like
doing
a
something.
action comedy or is it like an action film? Or?
It's got a bit of comedy. I wouldn't class it as a comedy as such, but it's
No.
definitely an action film.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. You guys also wanted to talk about Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
Yeah, watched that this week.
What is that?
What's it about?
Yeah.
So this guy's granddad mysteriously gets killed.
Okay.
And his granddad used to tell him all these stories about kids with these different powers, and they live in these almost time zones, isn't it? Like they have these guardians who make a time loop, so they have 24 hours the same day every day, and no one can enter that loop unless they've got powers, and they're quite hard to find.
Yeah.
So he goes.
The reason they're in a loop is because like there's monsters out to kill them.
Yeah, monsters out to kill them, so they hide in this loop so that these monsters don't find them.
Oh.
And this kid goes to this island because his parents are worried about him, and he says, "Oh, maybe I should just go there and clear my mind of it all." And he goes to this place and he sees all the children. They've all got weird powers, and then he figures out that like there's this person who wants to kill them all, or this guy wants all their eyes, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because
so
if
strange. He wants their eyes?
yeah, because
Samuel Jackson's in that.
Samuel
Is it?
Jackson,
Yeah.
It's in everything.
yeah, but
Why does he want their eyes?
basically there was a failed experiment because he was like, why should we hide from the people? And then he tried to make this experiment.
So it's like
went
to
wrong.
live forever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And apparently the children's eyes like help them sustain
They're
themselves. Yeah, and they're
Okay.
delicious. So,
It's a classic Tim Burton film.
Yeah.
He is
A bit off
He's a bit weird,
he
isn't
has
he?
strange taste in like killing off
I always,
children.
I always get a really like paedophilia sort of vibe when I watch his films. I don't know if it's just me. Just me?
he is
I-
wacky.
it's
he's
no, it's
wacky.
weird.
Like,
but-
not to be slanderous in any sort of way, like, if we ever have Tim Burton on the podcast. But, but no, I just find it cool. But even when he remade Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, like, the guy played Willy Wonka. Like, it was fucking, what's his face?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. They made him seem really, like,
Well, they did.
creepy.
Yeah, true.
Tim Burton did the series of unfortunate events, didn't he? With
Oh,
Jim
Lemony
Carrey.
Snicket, yeah.
That like I couldn't sleep for a few days after that because that was like genuine. I was like petrified
I
of
hate
Jim
it.
Carrey.
I thought that from
They've
It
redone
was-
that now, actually.
yeah,
haven't they?
it's a series on
TV
Netflix.
series.
With Barney from How I Met
Oh,
Your
yeah,
Mother.
yeah.
MPH.
Yeah.
MPH. You're fucking hilarious.
But yeah, like he does loads of films that are weird and wacky though, doesn't he?
Mm.
Like he was going to be the director for Death of Superman.
Really?
Yeah, with
Oh, no.
with Nicolas Cage.
So Tim Burton.
Yeah,
I'm
Really?
glad.
because it was originally. I think.
Tim Burton and Nicolas Cage.
I think it was originally going to be someone. Then Kevin Smith kind of took it over, and then Kevin Smith was like, "Oh, let's get help from Tim Burton," and then they kind of were like, "All right, well, we're just going to have Tim Burton then."
Yeah.
And then it just flopped. They like made all the costumes and everything. And
Oh.
like, I watched. There's a documentary like about it. I think I'd definitely say watch it. It's quite interesting.
Yeah.
But I just thought how far they got, and then they just like nah.
That's mad.
Because I think the thingy film. Because then Tim Burton went on to make Batman with can't remember his name.
What, the actor?
Batman,
Yeah.
Batman Begins.
Yeah,
Batman
no,
Returns.
the older ones where he's like proper leather suited
Oh,
and stuff.
Okay.
Was it Michael Keaton?
Michael Keaton, yeah. But
Fair enough.
mad, isn't it? But yeah, this film's alright. I'll give it a 6 probably.
Mm.
I mean, it's different. It's interesting a little bit, but never really know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I suppose
We do with
Most films these days, yeah.
So, fair enough. Do you want to talk about trailers for a minute? Me and Ollie saw the trailer for a film called Free Fire yesterday before Logan. I think it's a Martin Scorsese film. Did it say what's the in the warehouse with all the shooting?
We saw that
We saw
trailer
it
when we
before
saw
John Wick,
John
yeah.
Wick 2.
Would
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it looks very good, but Ollie said he wants to see it. So
I look forward to it. What about
Yeah,
you?
I would quite like to see it as well.
it literally just looks like
Just 'cause
people
it-
shoot each other.
Yeah, it
for-
just looks wacky
for
and
90
fun,
minutes.
but in like a really intense situation.
Yeah, what I don't like, what I will say is what I don't like about some movies nowadays is that they are flying all over the world and it's hard to keep track. And it's like, what time zone are we in now? And like, how many days have passed?
Yeah.
Like, one thing about like the Jason Bourne is that he's just pretty much in continental Europe, so he can't go abroad anywhere else
Yeah.
because you've got free movement. But in things like Mission Impossible, they're like in Saudi Arabia and then
Yeah.
they're suddenly in USA and then suddenly Australia. And
Yeah.
like, how do they do this? But for this,
Free Fire.
it's literally they're just like stuck in a room.
Yeah.
And I think you can actually get a good dialogue.
Yeah, no,
'Cause
exactly,
what
yeah.
it reminded me of was a little bit like Reservoir Dogs
Yeah.
because they're just like stuck in a room, but
Yeah.
something goes wrong. And there,
No.
I mean, there was action in the trailer,
Yeah.
but
There will be action in it, but it'll
it
be
looked
wacky
a bit.
action.
It looked a bit more realistic when he
Yeah.
like threw a crowbar at someone.
Yeah.
He's like, I've got my hand.
Fair enough.
another trailer came out as well.
Yeah,
Wonder Woman.
Wonder
wasn't it?
Woman. Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen it. Chris, you've seen it.
Yeah.
Joe.
I
Ollie?
don't think I've... If it's
I
a
think it
news
literally- I think
trailer...
it's literally come out today.
Yeah.
Oh, then no, I haven't seen it.
It's quite long. It
Yeah.
kind of it reminds me of it's just essentially the DC's version of Captain America.
Mm.
I feel because it's back in like war times,
Yeah.
and I think that most people know the story of Wonder Woman is she lives on an island.
Yeah, it showed
Well, she lives
growing
somewhere.
up, training
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
And
Oh,
only,
okay.
only women live on this
Yeah.
this island planet. Well, no, it's just an island, isn't it? And then a man suddenly appears
Yeah.
there.
Mm.
Yeah, wasn't
It's
she
set-
an Amazonian
Yeah.
daughter of Zeus?
Yeah.
Zeus, yeah.
Yeah, she was. I got that wrong.
So the story's going to be set in like World War Two.
yeah, it's well.
Yeah, probably
yeah,
about
it's
that.
World War
She lives forever as well, isn't she? She's like
Yeah.
Superman.
Mm.
Demigod, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
But yeah, they were saying in the trailer like there was a woman telling her. This is what somehow this annoys me. There's a woman saying, "Oh, you're never." There's like a sword in some sort of thing,
Yeah.
and it's a young Wonder Woman saying, "Oh, who's that sword for? What's it for?" or something like that. and the woman's like, oh, it's for the most fierce warrior, blah, 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 but that won't be you. What kind of parent is that? What kind of parent is that to tell you, yeah, this is for the best warriors,
I'll show you wrong.
but not you. This is what I mean. And obviously, when you like see stuff like that, she's obviously going to become like the greatest warrior that
Exactly.
this woman have ever known.
Because that's her mindset.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the greatest.
So
Destiny.
that's like, so if we tell you something, it's not going to be you, then you're going to prove us wrong.
This is it. This is what my mum and dad tried to do. It doesn't fucking work. I think as a parenting style, I'm sorry, I'm looking up a quick tangent.
Reverse psychology.
As a parenting style, reverse psychology is a very, very bad tactic to say. To say to your child, you can't do this, you can't be this, you can't do whatever. I think that is such a horrible way to try and raise your child, because then even then they're gonna end up resenting you, or they're gonna end up thinking, oh right, I can't do this. You know, I can't be this person, I can't be that person. I feel like rarely ever does it think, oh yeah, I'm gonna prove that wrong, because majority of the time you think, my parents are more experienced, they're smarter than me, they know more than me. So if they say I can't do this, I probably can't do this. Because your parents, majority of the time, will know you better than you even know yourself.
Kind of brings the point back round to like fences, isn't it? Really, like
Yeah.
how he's telling him, son, he's not going to play basketball. Oh,
Very true.
Baseball, sorry.
Baseball, yeah. No,
Yeah.
football.
Football. God, I'm getting them all wrong. Yeah, like it's no way to tell your child. Like I like understand that he had some morals that he wanted to instill in his son, but.
Yeah.
At the same time, I kind of agree with you. Like it's like saying to your kid, "You can't draw on the wall."
Yeah.
Well, I can bloody draw on the wall, but like, this is whether you want me to or not, really.
Honestly, I just feel like it's just such a weird way.
Yeah, but when you're a young kid, when you get told you're not supposed to do something, of course you're gonna do it.
But not that you're not supposed to do something. Like
Unless you're a Sheldon Cooper.
yeah, well, yeah. And if I'm like 14 and backwards, like your parents are generally going to know more than you do, just about life and about things in general. Well, probably. But anyway, that was just the thing that...
Ollie in massive disagreement there.
That was the thing that annoyed me about that. We're going to move on to TV shows. We're going to do a little catch-up of things that we've individually watched this week. Me and Chris are both caught up on The Flash.
Mhm.
They are on season 3 now. I think it's like episode 15 or 16.
Yeah, it's coming to the end of it, really, isn't it? The season, yeah.
Chris, do you want to give me a very short summary of what has happened? in this
Wally
season?
West's an idiot. Doesn't tell anyone he can see the bad guy.
Yeah.
Then gets beat by the bad
Yeah.
guy. Flash lies to people.
Yeah.
Does something stupid. Then the people
I
don't.
feel like Barry Allen has been thick as pig shit this
Yeah.
whole season.
Yeah.
And bad things are happening to people, and you don't tell people.
Yeah, I
about
said it about Stranger Things, innit? When he's
Yeah.
looking in the mirror and it's like, what the hell? But the thing is, it's like the whole premise at the moment. I think it's I don't know if it was the first. I can't remember if it's the first half of the season, but it's definitely the second half. And at this point, Barry one of the episodes, Barry accidentally goes to the future and he can see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the whole idea is you see that Iris is going to die.
Yeah.
And he's already a bit self-conscious anyway, because he can see this future article that someone brought back. And in the article it originally had by Iris
West Allen.
West Allen, and now it says Iris West. So he's like, oh, what's happened?
Yeah.
And then he goes to the future, he sees this guy kill Iris. So he's got all
This
this...
is that like speed god.
Yeah, Saboteur.
Saboteur. Yeah.
And basically, so he's now trying to change the events that he can see in that time period,
Yeah.
so that he can stop her from dying. And inevitably, anything he does seems to make it so it does happen.
Yeah.
Like it does come about. I mean, he's managed to avoid this like war with the apes essentially, but it did happen still. If I'm honest, like they came along. They won, but
What as in like Planet of the Apes?
yeah, but
Yeah,
in
it's Gorilla City.
Right.
Gorilla City
Oh, okay.
with
Gorilla Grodd.
Grodd, yeah.
Fucking hell.
I know. But like in this episode, you've got Wally West, who is new to
It's the Kid Flash.
Kid Flash. I mean, we've already said this whole thing's got spoilers, but
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
so he's now the Kid Flash, but he got his powers a bit of a different way to the other speedsters.
Yeah.
Like it's essentially
He got them from the bad guy.
he got them from the bad guy.
Oh, okay.
And the bad guy got them from a different timeline
Yeah.
to give to him. It's
Yeah.
really it's weird. It's
Okay.
confusing. Like we've had plenty of chats about
Yeah.
all this timeline stuff.
Yeah.
So for some reason, because of this, he can see the bad guy, but the bad guy. My thoughts are the bad guy isn't actually there. No, he's not there. He's not there.
He's in the Speed Force.
He's in the Speed Force, and he's
Right.
basically saying, "Oh, you can't stop me." And then Wally West is thinking, "Oh, well, I'm going to do it on my own. I'm going to stop him."
Yeah.
And he literally does what the bad guy wants him
What's
to
it
do.
yeah.
bad guy's done reverse psychology. Really, he said you can't do it, so he's going to do it, and then he gets obliterated.
Yeah. So yeah, basically Wally, there's a stone that the bad guy needs to come out of the Speed Force so he can, enact his evil plan or whatever.
Right.
And Wally takes this stone and because he didn't know that the bad guy was in the Speed Force, so Wally takes the stone and chucks it into the Speed Force where the bad guy is. The bad guy gets it, comes out of the Speed Force, and Wally gets sucked into it. And so this is what I was going to tell you that annoyed me about it, Chris.
Yeah.
So Barry gets there as Wally's being, sucked into the
And
Speed
does
Force and
nothing.
whatnot. And he's like, Wally's like, yeah, Barry, help me. Barry just standing there looking at him like fucking help him.
I have so many things about this episode where I'm thinking it's just like
Just help him out. I don't understand.
One episode of Flash is in the Speed Force. It was one of the worst episodes of the Flash. I think we agreed on that. We've ever watched. It was like him having a debate with Speed, essentially.
Yeah.
Who does that?
And it was like, and it comes.
Jesus Christ.
It was the Speed Force was. They made Speed Force out to be like some sort of god.
Yeah.
And they were coming. He was coming in different characters that he knew. So it was Joe, and I think it was Iris. Then it was his mum, and I was just like, this
it's
is
a bit much.
ridiculous.
So my thought is that there's going to be now an episode where Barry either has to go back in the Speed Force
I
or
think
Wally
so
West
as well.
has to have the debacle with the Speed Force. It's a bit like, oh, really? Is this really what's going to happen? My big issue, and I could have maybe forgotten a bit of information from a previous episode, but my big issue was that Savitar, this new speed god, whatever, was super fast and Barry Allen could barely keep up.
Yeah.
In this episode,
He
he
fights
actually
him
went
and
toe to toe
yeah.
with him and was actually doing okay.
Yeah.
Complete turnaround from what was happening before. I don't believe he's done any further training to...
But could it be just that, what's his name,
Savitar.
Savitar is just toying with Barry and going
No,
slower?
because Barry hurts him.
Yeah.
And Barry hasn't hurt him before, and
Oh,
he really
okay.
did actually hurt him because he tore something off of him.
Yeah.
Is this before or after Wally went in?
After. So maybe a bit of rage is
Yeah.
in Flash, but at the
Yeah.
same time it's a bit like, up to this point, Barry's pretty pissed off anyway, because Iris has said, right, you proposed to me for not not a reason for love,
Yeah,
but
so
for another reason.
In the future scenario where Iris dies, Barry notices that she hasn't got a wedding ring on.
Right.
So in the present, he proposes to her
Right.
to try and change the future, to try and make it so that she doesn't think something different happens, so she doesn't die. And then Wally finds this out and tells everybody about it.
Snitch.
Yeah, he properly snitched on Barry, and then Iris gets really angry, saying like, "Oh, you can't marry me for those reasons." Even though they are another
Yeah.
sort of thing. So if they got married outside of these circumstances, they definitely would. So I don't think it was as big a problem as they were trying to make it out to be.
Would you like it if Eddie came back into the show?
Depends how.
Because I've got a feeling that's where it's going.
Who do you think Savitar is?
Eddie.
Okay. I could get with that.
Yeah.
If they make it sound realistic.
Eddie was Iris's boyfriend in the
Fiancé.
in the first.
Fiance.
That would make very good sense. Oh, Chris, you fucking cracked it. That would make such good sense. Because he took Iris away from him, and he essentially kind of like let him die. Sort of
And he
thing.
got sucked into
And he got
the...
sucked into the Speed. Oh, Chris, spot me, Chris. That's a fucking solid. That is solid. I'm banking on that. I reckon
It
that's
came
gonna-
to me in the last
Yeah.
episode, didn't it? I was like, oh my days.
I reckon it's Eddie actually.
Can I? So is the Flash? Is that Barry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Barry
the
Flash.
Sorry, we should have
superhero's name. No, it's okay. So the superhero's name is Barry.
Yeah, Barry Allen.
Bazza. I expected, something a little bit more. I don't
Bartholomew
know.
Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you got the other
Carry on.
speedster, Jay Garrick.
Yeah.
Then you
Oh,
got
he's
Wally
really
West,
good.
and you got who's
Jesse Quick.
Jesse Quick as well.
That's a great name.
Yeah, I know.
Quick.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll move on to the Flash, on to Legion. Me and Joe, I think, are caught up. Chris is, I think, one episode
Yeah. Well, I've seen the first
behind.
10 minutes of it, and that was pretty
Okay.
clever but weird at the same
So
time.
you've seen the first
I've seen the first 10 minutes of Legion.
the one before.
No, this new one.
Oh, the new one. Right,
And
okay.
I've seen where basically he's in her mind, and they basically have sex in his mind.
I was thinking, like, yeah, boy. I wanted
I was waiting for like.
S-Bar.
She got a banging booty.
Average. It's average.
It's alright.
I'm not having that.
It's alright.
But what I just want to say about Legion is this show is fucking mental. Like,
Yeah.
there's just stuff going on, and I'm just literally like, at the end of every episode, I'm literally thinking, what the fuck is happening? Like, I'm enjoying it. I'm getting hooked in, but I just don't fucking get it.
To be fair, I'm sort of on the same level. I thought when the first show first came out, I thought, yeah, okay, I sort of know what's going to happen, but it's starting to develop more, and I'm just getting more and more lost as to what's happening.
I was saying to Obi before you turned up. I was saying to him, like, obviously because I've only watched the first 10 minutes, so I'm probably a bit out of the loop a little bit. But does it not seem really strange that he had this whole mind meltdown where he was asleep and he couldn't get out his mind, and then he got out his mind, to not really knowing how to use any of his powers to now being a master of the art of his powers?
That's the thing, though. He's not.
Well,
I think
he's pretty good compared to the last episode.
You'll see it more in the newest episode, but he's in no way a master of his power at all.
Like, he's a lot more. He's got a lot more mastery of it than he did previously.
Yeah, he's got some control over it, but nowhere near.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he doesn't know the magnitude of it, does he? Really?
No.
That's the
I don't
problem.
think anyone knows the magnitude.
Yeah,
of his
that's
powers.
true.
No, because he is like the most powerful mutant, isn't he?
What was the you know, in the last episode?
Yeah.
What was the guy with the curly hairs power? Like the bad guy.
Oh, the bad guy.
I don't know. I
His
don't know.
his power is still a bit of a mystery, but
Could he control dairy products?
Hey,
Misfits.
here we go.
That's a killer, that one.
yeah, I'm not sure what his power is.
Neither am I.
Was it in the latest episode where he
He just appeared.
where he swapped?
What's our bodies?
Yeah,
That was the episode before, and that was
okay.
that wasn't his power.
I know that was her power.
Yeah, that was her power.
But
This is what I was trying to explain
Yeah.
in the last podcast. Is that she touches someone?
Sid, this is.
Yeah, Sid,
Yeah.
and then
And-
she will get their power,
yeah,
and then when it ends, they swap bodies almost.
no, I thought
Yeah, because in the last episode, doesn't the
I
main
know
character
exactly.
the main character
I know
grabs
exactly
the
what you're
bad
talking about,
guy
yes, yeah.
and he's like holding him down while Sid's running away,
Yeah.
but it's not actually Sid, it's the bad guy within Sid, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden the power stops and it's the bad
Yeah.
guy over there and Sid's in his
Yeah,
arms.
yeah.
So
But-
they swap powers, and I've now got, if Ollie had powers and I had powers,
Yeah.
I've now got Ollie's powers and Ollie's got mine.
No, I think
And
that's
then-
Sid's powers because when she
That's what he's
touches,
saying.
That's what I'm saying.
you are. Oh.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm explaining that it seems weird that we touch, we swap powers, then when it ends, like the wink, and when it ends, we just swap bodies. We swap bodies. It's not the powers go back. We swap bodies.
Yeah.
Because my thought would have been she should have like maybe collapsed as she was running away, and all of a sudden he has got the bad guy in his arms. Not they've just switched bodies and the bad guy's running. But maybe that's just me. I don't know.
well,
Or maybe I've misunderstood it. And
I thought her power was when she touched someone, they literally just swap bodies, and that was it. And then when what's his name? David.
They do swap bodies. The thing,
Yeah.
the thing, Chris, they do swap bodies. But the thing Chris is trying to say is so. After like the body swap has worn off,
Yeah.
when they go back to being their original selves, they're not in the positions that they.
So look,
Trying
so
to
Ollie's
explain
here, I'm here. Yeah, we swap powers.
it. Ollie goes left, Chris goes right,
Yeah.
and then you swap the powers back, and you won't be in. So
I'm here. I'm on the left. Ollie's on the right. When the powers are worn off,
Yeah.
body
that's
swap.
where we are.
Yeah.
When the powers are
You
worn
swap-
off, we
you-
swap over.
You go back into your body, but
Yeah.
you end up where
They
you,
were.
Yeah.
You end up where you were when you were in the other person's body. This
Yeah.
is really, it's trying,
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
have,
yeah.
you have to watch it to make
It's strange.
sense.
But I have a theory about Sid. I think
Riverdale
she is a
logo.
manifestation of David's powers.
Really?
Like David has made Sid.
Yeah, I don't think
'Cause-
so. Because everyone else can see it. Yeah.
I think that about Lenny.
No, exactly.
I think that about Lenny.
So David has physically manifested an actual person because no one knows where she came from.
Yeah, true.
She just popped up
Maybe.
one day.
Maybe. To be fair, I'm pretty. He can see dead people, can't he?
Okay.
That's how he sees Lenny, isn't it?
I thought it was all in his mind.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
It's a bit of a spoiler, but yeah.
Mm.
It is just in his
Mm.
mind, I think.
Cool. Alright.
Yeah.
Are we ready to move on?
Yeah.
Alright, let's move on to quick recap of Riverdale. We're not gonna go in like we did a few episodes
that was
ago.
silly.
Yeah,
We didn't do it justice.
We're just gonna talk about
Let me snack on this. Let me open this. There you go. Now you can carry on.
Okay. So yeah, we're gonna have a quick chat about Riverdale. I've only got really like one thing I've got to say about this. So you've both seen episode 6.
So I've seen the episode where
I just haven't seen the most recent.
Okay, cool.
So they've gone to the hospital.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So you've both seen the bit where Betty and Jughead kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did that seem kind of out of nowhere? I felt like there wasn't really any feelings bubbling up.
True.
between the two.
I feel like he wanted it more than she did.
They just kind of started. They just kind of kissed her, and she was like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
I didn't really feel like before that they were
There's
like
no build
had
up,
any sort
yeah.
of moment, or
No.
there was any sort of inkling that he liked her or she liked him.
True.
I found it really a bit strange.
Yeah, it was a bit odd, wasn't it? Yeah,
There-
you're right. it just
There
came
was
out
that
of nowhere.
moment where Jughead turned up in the suit, and Betty had a little look in her eye, like, wow, he scrubs up well, even though he still had the fucking
Instead of
beanie
the
hat on.
Yeah.
I don't get
That's
that.
it's his trademark from the comics.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
that was that little moment that might have just led into that. But other than that, I didn't see anything coming.
Fair enough.
Talking of comics, actually, the shop around the corner from the comic book shop was saying that he might not actually get any more in because they're hiking up the prices, or there's going to be some kind of tax coming in.
What on comics?
Yeah.
What, that come from the budget announcement? Do you reckon? That happened in the week.
Maybe.
It might be.
It
Wait,
might-
that's how we said the
might be.
NHS.
This is what I'm saying. I
comic books.
can't remember if it was just a hike or if it was
Yeah.
a tax, but maybe.
Interesting.
Because he was like, yeah, it's going to be going up by like 50p or a pound or something. And it's like, he's like, I can't.
So how
Can't
much?
justify
How
the
much
sale.
are comic books?
Oof,
Roughly.
about
Between like 3 and
no more than that now. It's about the newest ones that come out are like £4.25 to
really?
£5.99.
order them online.
But
They're
this is from
they're-
like
they're
this is
£3
from
online.
this is from like a small comic book
Oh,
shop.
right,
Like if
okay.
you go to, there's one in London,
Like Forbidden whatever.
Forbidden
Forbidden
Planet.
Planet.
Yeah.
That
Isn't
might
there
be
one of
cheaper.
them in Croydon?
Yeah. So it might be cheaper from there because they're
Yeah.
like their distributors are in other countries as well. So
Okay. I would quite like to get into comic books.
Yeah,
Start
me
buying
too.
them more.
can I just say for Riverdale, I'm not sure where it's really going. Like,
I feel like after they find out who killed Jason, then where else have they got to go?
yeah, this is it.
That
Unless
would be the
there's
end of the
unless
season.
there's some kind
Yeah,
of
but then after that,
unless there's some
I'm
kind of
sure there'll be
like
a season
secret society that's coming about.
I don't know. I'm sure there's gonna be a season 2, so I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Maybe someone else is gonna die.
Something else will happen.
I feel like they're going to explore these them serpents, the Southside serpents.
Yeah.
They're called. I feel like they're going to try and explore that a bit more.
But we found out who Jughead's dad is, don't we?
Yeah.
He's one of them, isn't he?
Yeah.
And is he the one that's dealing with Vanessa's mum?
Yeah.
Yes.
And now Vanessa, when the last episode, Vanessa and her mum are having a bit of a fight because Vanessa's mum's going out with
Archie's dad.
Archie's dad, even though she originally didn't want to go out with him, and now she is going out with him
Yeah.
because she wants to get him the contract from the mayor who she gave money to.
Yeah.
Ugh. Confused.
It's just a whole bunch of fucking bleh.
And then at the end of the episode, Thingy's jumped out of a window, which is not on the bottom floor.
No, it didn't look like it was. Yeah, it didn't
Not
look
on
like
the
it
bottom
was
floor. She's pregnant and she's cut herself on the glass.
Yeah.
This is gonna be weird. And then mysteriously, the car with all the evidence.
It was burned up. I want to know, who do you think burned that car?
I think it was the pregnant lady.
Do you reckon?
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't think it was her. I'm not sure.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
But it's you can see it's going somewhere. But I just. I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like the end result. I feel is going to be
Not gonna be a-
annoying.
Not
Yeah.
going to be a good payoff.
Yeah.
Alright. So we're winding down towards the end of the episode now, so I just want to ask you guys a couple of questions just because I get curious. So, if you guys could remake a film or turn a TV series that you liked into a film, what would you like to be remade
Jesus.
or made into a film?
I'd like Chuck to have a film
Okay.
because
Do you think a Chuck film would work? Like an hour and a half film or 2 hour
I
film?
think it would, because considering like you've got all this like geeky stuff coming about and it was pretty geek orientated, I think they could probably put in a lot of references to other things, and also considering Chuck's probably my favourite TV series, and they left it on a bad cliffhanger where you don't know whether it's the ending you want or not. And they say leave it up to the fans, like get out of here. Just make Chuck versus movie because all their titles were Chuck versus. So just make the movie. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I don't know whether to say a movie that I don't like or a movie that I do like, but I take things out.
Maybe
so, like,
a film that like.
For example, The Hobbit,
Okay.
I would do it, but I'd take out anything like the Paler Walk because there's just no need for that.
Yeah, because he was invented, wasn't he? He wasn't in the book or.
He is,
he
but
is.
not on that storyline.
Right.
So that's one thing, but I don't know about a shit film that I don't know, because if you've seen a shit film, it kind of ruins it for you.
But this is what I was going to say. So people always say that The Purge had a really good idea, but the film doesn't really execute it very well. So maybe remake that into a.
Personally, I'd make that into a TV series.
Okay.
I think that could have been really executed quite well as a TV series because you could see. Because I know was it you saying that it should have been from people's point of views, more people.
Like a wider.
Yeah, and if you
perspective
do a
then.
TV series, you don't necessarily have to have a main protagonist. You can have an episode main protagonist, and then go through it, and then maybe have one person coincidentally be in a few of them or something. Like, I think that'd be quite good.
It could do like cool. 24. It could literally be like 24 hours of the city just
tearing
itself apart.
Exactly. Yeah,
that'd be quite cool.
24 was the best.
And you can see all the differences of like
differences
of like
we're gonna sell that.
all these people, like why they're doing it, and like obviously they've got all the different societies within it who are like.
And you could do like the day leading up to it as well. So like a banker loses his house and he's just like, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna go on this mad one later. That's like that.
Yeah,
good
that's
idea.
good stuff, isn't it?
Any of you guys, Joe, any suggestions you can think of?
Not really.
No.
No.
Alright. You'll come back to me. Don't worry.
Yeah, probably.
Alright. So last question of the episode: if there was a film of your life, who would you want to play you?
Well, mine's simple. It's not.
I know you're gonna say.
It's not that I got a choice though. It's either going to be Owen or it's going to be Ellen DeGeneres.
I knew that.
I don't have a choice in that, do I?
So yeah, for those who can't see Ollie, then you should know he has an uncanny resemblance to Ellen DeGeneres and or Owen Wilson. Chris, who would you want to?
Get the guy from Smallville. He can do it.
Which guy?
The main character.
Oh, Tom Welling?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
He's wamping it. I'll lie.
Joe?
Beans from Even Stevens.
Good one.
What about you, guys?
Either
Denzel.
or you know the guy who played Black Panther?
Yeah.
Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind him playing. That'd be decent. I reckon he can pull it off.
Yeah. Off of going right back round to the beginning, actually.
Yeah.
Rumour has it that Tom Hiddleston is going to be the next James Bond. And I saw there was an interview, and he didn't say anything, so I'm assuming he's being a bit more cautious about it, because I know Daniel Craig wants to do one more, or he will do one more.
Oh, really?
I thought he was saying that he was like outraged that
he's finished.
He doesn't want to do
Oh,
it.
really? I thought he was
so.
going to do another one. Okay, fair enough.
Well, there's lots of speculation about him.
People were like, Idris Elba would be sweet, but people were like, or we can't have that, or you
Black
can't have
Bond?
kind of a Black Bond or a female Bond, like Jamelia Bond.
Jamelia Bond.
Jamelia Bond. Fair enough. I always feel like I don't think Tom Hiddleston has enough hair. I feel like you need a full thick head of hair to be James Bond. That's why I feel like Daniel Craig doesn't really look like a.
He could grow one. He could grow.
Will it be thick though?
Put a wig on,
will it be luscious?
Luscious.
Like
Anchorman.
who played it before?
From Burgundy.
Before Daniel Craig.
Pierce Brosnan.
He was a James Bond looking guy. His hair was full as fuck.
So he was kind of suave.
Yeah.
That's the thing with a James Bond. They need to look suave.
They need to look suave. Yeah.
Idris Elba. He's suave.
Idris.
He's hardcore, man.
Tom Hardy.
No, I think Tom Hardy's more of a gritty actor.
I think he's too big as well.
Okay.
Although to be fair, Daniel Craig's he brought a bit of a grit to James Bond. So
Yeah,
Tom Hardy could work.
That
I
Scottish.
think Tom Hardy's too big.
The only issue, and briefly, with the Bond is now that they're just running off their own.
Yeah, they're making up
ideas.
new stories now, aren't they?
Oh, are
Because
they?
they were following the books.
Yeah,
Okay.
but now all the books are done. So wasn't Quantum of Solace a new title? Skyfall.
What, is it all for dead or what?
Yeah, done a long time ago.
Wow. Fair enough.
But I thought that as well they was going to remake some of the older ones, like From Russia with Love, Octopussy.
I don't know. I do love a Sean Connery film
To be
as a
fair.
James Bond.
Oh, I'm trying to think of a film that I would want remade.
It's quite hard to
A lot of
think
people would
about.
say Star Wars 1, I think.
I
The Phantom
have not
Menace.
Yeah.
seen it, so I can't comment.
To be fair, it's not a bad film.
We'll come up with an answer for that next week.
Harry
Yeah.
Potter 5.
Harry Potter 3. That film was awful.
It wasn't a great one, to be fair.
The fifth one, I didn't mind it. I thought it was okay.
That's boring.
I thought it was okay.
It was kind of boring.
I thought the
What,
third one was
what
boring.
one was that?
Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah.
And he's thinking of Prison with Azkaban.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, winding down, I feel like we've come to the end of this episode of Your Average Critics. Hopefully, next time Glenn will be back with us. Although we're not sure because his schedule's a bit,
To be fair, this went very well. We might just have to.
we'll have to boot Glenn off the episode, I'm not going to lie.
Joking, Glenn.
So yeah, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at YAC Podcast 17, and let us know what you think. Leave us a review on iTunes, and we'll see you later.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yeah.